Hi, I'm Toni Kaufmann, and today I want to talk a little bit about housing bubbles and why we're not in one right now. Okay, so people are really concerned with purchasing a house in a bubble, and they are having a lot of fear. It's a big fear base around this thing because of what happened in 2010. And I get it because honestly, I think about it too. So, of course, I hire experts and they tell me good things because I do not have time to study the market, but that's what they do. So, let's talk about what I've been told. Okay. And basically, I want to start with price acceleration. And I have a graph here and it shows what happened year over year. So, we're 2 years into this pandemic now. Almost exactly, really. And so, since the beginning of the pandemic, our housing prices have increased by 20%. 2 years, 20%. Crazy. But if you look, so from 2020 to 2021 in January, there was a 10% increase. And then and then you can see it just kept increasing all the way until June. And then at June, it's kind of leveled out. So June, we started hovering around 18% and we stayed there. And then come January this year, so now we're looking at 2021 to 2022, we are now at 19%, which is absolutely amazing. And now you're thinking to yourself, well, see, doesn't this look like a bubble? Well, let me tell you that it doesn't look like a bubble because I'm going to show you this next graph. So inventory was nothing like it was the time before. So if you look at 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010, you can see how many houses were available for buyers to buy, right? So it was really a buyer's market at that time. And now, when we look at what's going on in this market, you can see it is an absolute seller's market. We have 1.8 months of inventory on the market, unheard of, honestly unheard of in our marketplace. And that's across the country. That's not in one hot little town. It's across the country that this is going on. So why does that make it not a bubble? Well, two things happened. First of all, the economy got boosted by the feds and they said, let's lower interest rates. And boy, did they do a great job with that because everybody ran out to buy a house at 2.25%. Who doesn't want to buy a house? I wanted to buy a house at 2.25%. And everybody got in their car in the pandemic and went to look at houses and started buying them like crazy. And now, why isn't that a bubble? Well, because we have better lending practices now. You cannot buy a house that you can't afford and hope that the appreciation will take you out of trouble if you can't actually afford it. That's not happening anymore. The other thing that has changed is that we didn't have as much building for the past 11 years that we had historically. It wasn't profitable to build, right? Builders just weren't making the money they were used to making. So they went on to different things. Now we have a housing crisis, and it's a housing crisis because of lack of inventory, not a housing crisis because we bought too high for what we can actually afford. That's the difference.